So, welcome back to Kiston, everybody. This is session 5. This session is going to be picking up pretty much right where our last session left off with those fantastic events. And we're going to pick up today's adventure here. So, Alexi, we begin today's adventure joining you in this life that you are leading now, and that you have been freed of mortal burden. This strange land, of course, it is another day at the marketplace. Like every day, you find yourself surrounded by stalls and tables set up by beast folk, much like yourself, who have come to share trinkets, treasures, and stories of their adventures in life. We begin today's adventure with Alexi meeting with a massive bear folk, a beast folk of ursine nature, who is here at his table selling small treasures, as he calls them, that he's picked up along his way, and that he is loaning out like a library. It's a commune of sorts. And today, he sees you approach the table, Alexi, and he says,
"Well, Alexius, it is so good to see you again. What are you looking for today? Something pretty? It is a pretty day for Miss Alexius. I have here,"
and he pushes towards you a beautiful gold-plated dining tray, and he says,
"I liberated this tray from a household that held many beast folk slaves in life. I keep it close to me because it reminds me of those I lost on that day that we liberated them. You are free to take it. Just bring it back whenever you feel you are done with it."
You know, I would, but it just seems right for you to have it.
You are too sweet, Alexius.
And then, Alexius, from over your shoulder in the aisle of the market here, you hear a voice. It says, "Yes, Alexius. Wait. Sorry, do I know you?" And as you turn to see who it is, there is a bear beast folk. He's a bit more feral looking than you, whereas Alexi is sort of bear in spirit. This man sort of starts to take on bear in appearance. And as you turn to look at him, he sort of pauses in place, and his eyes get real wide at you. Alexi, you recognize those eyes anywhere. Here, in the afterlife, you've just happened to bump into your son.
Arthur?
Mom?
What are you doing? What are you doing here?
I'm here because I died, Mom. But how are you?
It's so good to see you. I've missed you.
It's good to see you too, Mom. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
I know, you're all grown up. I remember when you couldn't even get up on the chair by yourself.
I have so much to share with you, Mom. I have so many stories of the man I became. Please, let's find somewhere. Let's talk.
Yes, please. We have so much to talk about.
Alexius, as you take your son's hand and start to make your way out of this little marketplace, you feel a strange tingle. It lies somewhere in between that mother bear instinct and also, strangely enough, your loyalty to the tribe or loyalty to the pack. It stops you in your tracks as you feel this calling of responsibility. And Arthur says, Mom, what's wrong?
I don't know.
Mom,
I have this
Mom,
terrible
you're fading.
feeling.
Mom, he
No!
rushes towards you and he passes through you. He says, what's going on, Mom?
I don't know. Don't go.
Please, come back.
I'll be with you very soon.
See you
We
then.
will see each other again.
And your sun fades from view as everything goes dark around you and your time here in the afterlife comes to an end. In another world, another plane, another afterlife, we find you, Ghost, Edgar, but not quite looking the same as we saw. Edgar, after that fall and everything went black around you, you find yourself once again in the form of a small boy. Young, very young, probably no older than 10. And as you look over and take in your new world, you see your dad again. It's funny. I don't think you realized how much you grew up to look like him. When you look up and over at him, you can see he is gathering twigs and small pieces of plants. Looks like maybe kindling, like he's going to start a fire. And he looks over his shoulder and he sees you. And he says, "Hey there, champ. You made it."
Dad? Dad,
Yeah.
where are we? What are you doing?
Well, I'm setting up a campfire. We've got to take rest somewhere. There's many more adventures ahead of us.
How are you?
He kneels down and he says, "Trust me, son. I am amazing. Everything here is so perfect. I have access to all the knowledge I could ever want. It is eternal satisfaction."
I never got it. I never got it back.
No?
I ran out of time. I'm sorry. I let you down.
Oh, champ, you couldn't let me down. And he looks at you and he squints for a second. And he says, "I don't think it's your time yet." And you realize, Ghost, that you are like a ghost, sort of fading in and out in front of him. He says, "Yeah, if I had to guess, your soul is still a little kid. You've probably got many years ahead of you. Who knows how many. Come back when you're ready."
Dad, I love you. If you see Ghost, he scratches behind the ears, okay?
And in the distance, you can see coming out of the brush a dog jumping out. And as the dog lunges for you, the whole vision disappears before your eyes. Hop, you had to go around the long way, whereas Guy and Muir were able to spider climb their way straight down the cliff. You find yourself skirting the outside of the mountain and coming around, trying to find the grove that they descended down into. As you get to the edge of that grove, you notice that the woods here are thick with webs unlike anything you've ever seen. What do you do?
Strange. Well, if I know anything about spider webs, I know they react to touch. So I'm gonna start burrowing my way towards there.
Great. Yeah.
Making a little divot as I go.
So you start to burrow down, keeping keen ears out, listening or paying attention to any sort of patches of dirt that might disrupt where the webs are, and you eventually burrow your way into the clearing, where you can see that Muir and Guy have just arrived at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on the inside of the clearing here, Hop. So, Guy, Muir, you obviously came down very slowly, taking your time, carrying Guy, and eventually you reach the bottom. And as you can see, this cliff is littered with bodies all about you. There's not just human bodies, but creature bodies. Like crab legs that are the size of spears. And yes, about a dozen bodies in various states of decomposition, and some of these bodies have been torn very much apart. What do you guys do, the three of you?
I would at least try to find Ghost and Alexi's bodies first.
Yeah. Mir, why don't you go ahead and lead that investigation?
A 19.
After a few minutes, we'll say it takes maybe about 20 minutes, just looking. Ghost's body was actually pretty simple to find. It's pretty much intact. It looks like Ghost fell on his back coming down, so his limbs might be a little bit contorted, and obviously the life is drained out of him, so his skin is very pale gray. Alexi, on the other hand, it takes you a little bit longer to find, because it looks like she's been stripped of a good chunk of her meat, I'll say, to be kind. But you do find the body pretty much still intact and in place, just missing most of the skin, flesh.
I'm gonna turn to Weir and Guy and just be like, hey, are you all right?
No.
I'm gonna put my hands on both their shoulders.
Thanks. I had him in my hand. He fell right through it. I couldn't.
I'm sure you did the best you could.
He walks away for a sec to collect himself.
I just gesture to to Guy. I'm like, okay.
He shakes his head and says, friends gone, not strong enough.
You catch the word Ven, personal statement.
I guess I'll start.
I gesture to hop to the bodies that we should give them a proper burial.
Okay.
I take the ghost's body in my arms and I look for a nice patch of earth.
It doesn't take long at all before the two of you can find a suitable burial spot down here at the bottom of the cliff.
I'll try to burrow a grave for both of them.
Yeah. So, Guy, you watch Hop sort of solemnly digs a perfect little picturesque hole. Do you dig 2 holes or 1 hole?
2.
2.
I give him a thumbs up to tell him he's done a good job.
Thank you.
And
Muir, you can see across the grove that they are placing the bodies in the graves now and starting to...
I want to take a look around and see if there's any flowers or plants or anything that would signify like bereavement or grief, specifically in like Druid culture. Maybe?
Okay, give me a survival check.
A 17.
I will say that with a 17, you'll find one lone lily that is growing out between a couple of rocks. The lily, of course, being a pretty traditional Druid flower of grief, bereavement.
Yeah. Instead of plucking it, I'm gonna dig under it and try to get some of the roots, so I can transplant it. Yeah, I'm gonna carry it over to the gravesite. I'm gonna plant it in the middle between the two of them.
Great.
And just kind of pat over the dirt and give a solid nod at Hop and a sad smile.
I would like to, in the dirt, sort of above where the headstones would go, I want to, using my great axe, I want to draw the Ven symbol of the defense rune that I put on everybody's bodies when we were at the campsite. So I want to make the Ven symbol for both of them.
No. Does anyone want to say any words?
I turn to Muir and I say, I'm not so good with words.
Yeah, didn't really know him, but sometimes you just know people. I don't know. I've never really had friends of my own, but I am very thankful that we met them. And let's try to make sure that I don't lose any more friends. Okay?
Aye.
Aye.
But if we are going to lay the dirt over and leave them with their lily, I will let you guys know that this appears to be a pretty quiet spot. It looks like the spider webs are keeping most, if not everything, out of this grove.
So he would mirror go. So it looks like we might be okay here. But why don't we rest and see about getting out of here before the next,
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's find overarching rock or something and try to put some fern bedding down.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so I'll tuck you guys away in a corner where you can begin your long rest. I know, Mira, you do like to take watch. You've taken watch for the last few nights.
Yep, I'll take it again.
And as expected, a few hours into the watch, you can hear distantly up above the sound of several creatures as they all just sort of roar and bicker at each other. And if you come out, you creep out, and you look up, Murin, you can see that the Vern are actively flying about 800 feet above us and are just going at each other. It is the dance of dragons, right? They are attacking each other in midair and stealing something out of each other's grips, which, of course, brings you to the obvious conclusion that they must have sacrificed someone up there after all. But the rest of the watch goes quietly, and there is very little to disrupt it. If I remember, we had last planned to sleep the days away and then stay up at night and try to go under the cover of night. Which is what happens when we wake up now. That is when we see you guys emerge from your little hiding spot and back out into the pool of bodies here. Hop, I'll let you know that you spot a new body amongst them all. It's not intact, and it doesn't look pretty. But it is very clearly the very small, slight frame of that older man, Fermi, from the cliffside.
I think we have another friend here.
And Hop, with that amazing passive perception of yours, with your big bunny ears, you also hear some rustling in the nearby brush. Somebody apparently trying to get through the spider webs.
Get down. Everyone.
Stealth check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a group stealth check, the three of you.
13.
14.
18.
So, you guys pass the check and Hop. So, Guy and Hop, you can spot up in the brush a creature is trying their best to make it through the spider webs and into the clearing. And as they break the tree line, you notice that it is that woman from up above, Promisa. Guy, Aaron. She is sneaking into the grove. She's She's walking very stealthily, trying not to get seen or heard. But obviously, Hop, nothing gets past you. You guys watch her as she sort of creeps around the graveyard here, looking around. She goes over to one half of a body and she sort of flips it over with her foot. And then she walks over to another body and she leans down and then she picks up a leg bone and she starts looking around and then she tosses the bone and she mutters to herself. And then she walks over to the two freshly dug graves that are still overturned. And she sort of stops and she looks down at them.
Oh yeah, no, this is not gonna fly for me. I am taking action at this point.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna grapple her.
Oh.
I'm straight up. I'm
Yeah,
gonna grab
give me
her.
an athletics check.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
So you jump out from behind your rock and you dash and you grab her by the shoulders just as she's looking at the bodies of your friends.
I'm gonna say, what are you doing here?
Oh, yeah. I can't really see. Who is it?
Hermisa.
The
Oh.
lady from above.
Oh. Oh, and she can't understand you.
She says, let me go! Let me go! What are you doing? Don't attack me! I'm not the enemy here.
We're not getting the whole story.
What is he saying?
He says he wants to put you in a hole. Oh, sorry. No, you were not getting the whole story.
I can tell you everything. I'm on the same side as you. Don't hurt me.
Oh.
What side is that?
What side is that?
The side against the dragons. The side that wants to get off this cursed island.
I thought you wanted one of the dragons that was in the...
It's all part of a plan. A very carefully crafted plan by people far smarter than you guys.
I'm gonna come out
Oh.
of hiding. And I'm just gonna circle around and I'm gonna be like, so what part of your plan involves desecrating dead bodies? You're tossing around limbs like they're toys.
This might look shady, okay?
Ooh.
But it's what I do. It's what we all do. The purple, the black I wear, the black that Fermi wore, were Vecnans. He's the god of this. It's our religion.
I thought you said gods couldn't see us here on this island.
They can't. Half of my abilities are useless. I'm an acolyte. I am a servant of Vecna. But my divinations, they fail. My attempts to draw from his power, they fail. But I have my own power. Not everything comes from Vecna. Some of it is internal. Just like you were doing up there. I saw those vines. You understand that magic doesn't need the gods. In this part of my magic, I don't need Vecna's help. He has taught me well enough in this.
So
Moik.
what's
Go
your
ahead.
magic then? Blood? What's this guy's deal? God of
God of...
limbs?
He's the god of necromancy, which is the art of bringing the dead back to life.
Oh. That's different.
Like, I let go. Yeah, the bringing the dead back to life, I let go out of just sheer surprise.
Your friend was almost able to take out a Vern with her own hands. That's the power we need if we're going to make it off this island alive. Most of these bodies here, the Verns have torn apart. I can't use them. I can't help them. Her body is still intact. There's still legs, arms, chest, head. That's what I need.
You would make our friends into pups.
My magic gives me commands over them. I have a power over them that they cannot refute or deny. This is a good thing. Your friends were irrational, and this will help put them a little bit on the side of cooperation.
I draw my great axe.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Do not speak ill of the dead in front of me.
You realize that bringing the dead back is the worst sort of abomination you can do.
Some think that, sure.
How much of them will you be bringing back?
What I do is not resurrection. I won't be undoing the damage done. That damage has been dealt, and I don't think that can ever be undone. But I will be bringing them back so that we have a fighting chance, so that they can still help us. It's gonna be ugly, and depending on what they saw on the other side of the veil, they might not be very happy about it. But if we let them rest here easily, the four of us have no chance of taking down those Draco orcs above. They made mincemeat of you guys. And there were 5 of you then.
Why didn't you step in?
Vecna doesn't do impulsiveness. There is a measure to his success. The greatest victories require the strongest minds and the greatest wills. What you did up there, it made a mess of everything, but we have a chance of recovering this, okay? Yato Yuvelg isn't even coming until tomorrow night, so we have another window of opportunity to grab the red dragon.
What I don't understand is, how are you here? Weren't they keeping a close eye on you?
Yes. Tonight, they left again, as they do every night. They took both Verns with them, like they did yesterday night. Which means up there, right now, at the top of this cliff, there are 4 or 5 Draco orcs, and that's it.
Oh, I don't like this.
I'm gonna talk to Murin. We need to discuss this. I have my reservations.
Well, you don't like it either. Something doesn't feel right. I know you don't know if it's just me.
No, you're definitely right. When you said abomination, it sounds like she's gonna be bringing them back the way they are right now.
I mean,
But she did mention something about a veil. Sounds like some afterlife talk.
I mean, I don't know. Titania, she wouldn't like this.
I think those two deserve a second chance if we do have the ability to give it to them.
If they even want it.
I know.
All right.
I wish there was a way we could talk to them.
I turned to Promisa. A necromancer in common.
Yes. I would prefer you don't use that as a name. My name is Parisa.
Sorry, but you really don't get to dictate what I get to call you right now.
Call me
Can
whatever you
we
want.
speak to them?
Why do you want to speak to them?
I want to make sure they want to come back.
It doesn't matter what they want. We can do this. They have no way of saying no.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is such a druid thing to say. God, I hate you wilderness people. Okay, life isn't that sacred. There is no difference between life and death. Okay, I could bring them back and kill them again 30 times over.
I bet you couldn't bring them back and kill them 30 times if I took off your hands.
We need their muscles. We need their bodies. We need their strength. We need more people on our team because we cannot get this dragon from one end of the island to the other without it.
I'm gonna turn to them.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say, she may have a point though. I mean, the fact that they'll get to do that later, you know?
Yeah, but what's to stop her from?
As you guys huddle together, Hop, you can see a faint purple energy over Muir's shoulder as she sort of turned and snuck away a little bit, and she's starting to channel something on the ground.
Hey, what are you? Stop it!
You said you wanted to ask them, right? Okay, ask them. And she starts the necromantic ritual. She stomps one foot in the ground, and you can see in one hand she's gathered a bit of bone, a bit of blood, and a bit of flesh from the bodies all around here.
I'm gonna take a step back.
So there is an uncanny feeling in the air as you all step back and you watch the dirt start to move. It looks like there's a live creature under the dirt, and it's a little bit terrifying at first. And then the first hand to break the surface is Ghosts. And Ghost, the next thing you knew, everything just sort of smelt like dirt and worms and grime, and a faint voice in your head sort of told you what to do, and automatically, without even thinking about it, you sort of watched as your own body began to claw away the dirt above you, and within seconds, you had emerged.
Oh my god.
In front of you, you can see Guy, Muir, Hop, all very wide-eyed, probably shocked and confused, looking at you. And because you fell on your back, of course, your face is still pretty pristine and you know, pretty human-looking. You didn't get eaten, so you look pretty much just like a pale version of Ghost at this point. Before you even get the first word out, as you look down at the ground, Ghost, you can see another hand coming out of the ground at your feet. This one, not nearly as good looking as your own. It's bits of bone and flesh and tendons still strung together. And as it pulls itself out of the ground, there lies the ghastly looking corpse of Alexi. And the two of you should see each other. The two of you see Guy and Hop and Muir. And then you see Promisa. But when you see Promisa and you recognize her as that creature from the cliff, there is a bond that you share. You look at like a child of your own that must be protected at all costs. Alexi, suddenly the pack mentality and the mother bear nature is all starting to make sense. Before you lays the Venship, the family that you had before you died. Muir, Hop, Guy, they both appear to be back and looking at you, and there's a life to their eyes that can't be mistaken. It's Ghost and Alexi.
I fall to the ground. Please tell me you all had a better end than me.
Alexi, is that really you?
Welcome back.
Back?
Alexi. Ghost. What do we do on our first night here?
Wait a minute. Where is here?
I point up.
It's a very familiar looking cliff.
At this point, I'm gonna get down on my hands and knees, and I'm gonna start looking for my dog. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna be looking around. Maybe I'll like whistle a little bit.
Yeah, Ghost, there's a command that passes your mind that just forces your body up, back into standing position, almost like a soldier. And Promisa says, you behave over there. These friends of yours have a few questions to answer, and you'll need to answer them truthfully.
Did you guys see like a white dog, kind of fluffy, and then like an old guy that looks like me, but older?
Promisa says, whatever you guys saw, that is your afterlives. That is what awaits you when your quest is done here, in this plane of mortality.
Wait a minute. You brought us back?
Alexi, a quick command passes your mind, and you feel the impulse to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oi, stop that.
Stop what?
Stop making them do what you want them to do. Let them be them.
Them being them is what got us into this situation in the first place.
Yeah, them being them has also saved our lives a lot more times.
Look,
I promise you, having them in their fullest potential, they're going to be far stronger than as meat shields.
I don't need to make them meat shields. My brilliant tactician brain, plus their sheer strength, it's an unstoppable combination.
Wait, aren't you the one who sat on the sides? Tried problem.
And if I didn't sit on the sidelines, then who knows who else would have died? Me? Them? Your other friends? Okay, I did the best that situation called for, and look, now we're all here, and we're all ready to help, aren't we? Ghost and Alexia, a quick impulse comes through your mind that says, yes, I'm ready to help.
Yes, I'm ready to help.
Yes, I'm ready to help.
That is creepy.
Hey, where's the dragon?
The dragon? The red dragon?
Yeah, we got it, right?
She just
We
kind of
didn't
looks at
even make it
Hopping
in the
Guy.
front door. Mostly because somebody didn't help, and then I point at Promisa.
Promisa immediately shakes her hand, and Alexi and Ghost fall to the ground dead.
Oh, this is gonna do so much damage.
Okay. See, what we're not gonna do is this on again, off again crap. That's gonna have to stop.
Yeah, we'll say rule
If
number
they're
one.
back, then they need to be back. I'm not doing back and forth.
Okay, well then at least give me a little bit of respect here for what I am doing for the cause. Okay? Whatever happened up there, let's just say this. It happened, it's done, it's over. We need to get up there and get the dragon again tonight, before the window closes. If I hear one more thing about, oh, I didn't help you guys while your friends plummeted to their deaths, because I didn't see you guys helping them either. They still died.
Alright, can you just bring him back? We won't bring it up again.
She waves her hand, and Alexi and Ghost, you guys, very zombie-like, just sort of spring up again, and then fall into position.
Oh, I might.
That was weird. How you guys doing?
No more killing them for no reason.
Fine. I won't kill him for no good reason. If there's a good reason, say, I don't know, say the Verns are chasing us and we need to dispose of one of these bodies to get the Verns off of us, you know, I think that's fair.
As long as we can get the bodies back.
What do you mean as long as we get the bodies back?
As long as they come back. As long as you
Can't
work
just-
your little finger magic and pop them back up.
Can't just leave him behind there.
What am I? What is this? I did
Your
everything
mission.
right.
Alexi, you get an impulse in your head to stop talking.
If I may, we should get the dragon. I have nothing else to do.
I did not make her say that, Promisa says. That is a level head.
So they can be level-headed without you in it.
Well, at least this one.
Wait, she said I didn't have a level head?
Alright, can we
Look,
say
if
this?
if we're all gonna be a team, right? If the now 6 of us are going to be working together with our common goal in mind, I think it might be in our best interest to lay down some boundaries.
I agree.
I agree.
If
Jumping
you
off of
guys
that-
all cooperate, fine.
I think the first thing we need to realize is that we are a team. I understand that the dead might be tools for you, but we're seeing our friends come back to life, and if they die, we're seeing them die.
Anybody
From your-
care to guess, like, what happens to us and what you pull us from when you do this?
Look, I know
From-
there's
from,
an afterlife. I know I've pulled you from somewhere. Maybe you had friends or family or a harem of all of the world's
son.
best.
A son
You had a son.
that you've now taken twice from me.
Okay, look, can't believe I'm negotiating with a dead person. I understand. What is your name?
Alexius.
Alexius. Okay, Alexius. There is an afterlife. You saw it, okay? And you've got a son there. And it will be an eternity of the most perfect paradise you could ever want. But if you go back there now, if you make this choice, if you convince your friends here, who are very good listeners, if you convince them that you need to go back there, then we have to do this without you, then the chances of us making it off this island alive go down who knows how much. But if you're willing to lend us one tiny, tiny, tiny second of mortal life so that you can enjoy an eternity of heaven, well, then you might just help these guys, and she points to the boys. You might just help them get off this island and see whatever sons they have.
I will not abandon them.
Wait, that's one. Ghost?
Yeah, I'm gonna level with you here. I have nothing else to do at the moment. My dad, we were just kind of hanging out, making a fire. I saw him do that for like 20 years of my life, so I think he can wait.
All right.
There.
Sounds
Honest
they're all
answers
right
from
with
the
it.
dead. It sounds like they're okay with it. So can we, please, before we lose too much night, get back up there?
Oh, see, here's the thing. A few more rules, I think, we can come up with. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Trust me, I can talk all night. They must be brought back
You
whenever
can.
possible.
They must be brought back whenever possible. So, okay, so that's fine. Sure. I'll bring back your friends. So
As a side note, this is gonna sound really bad. I'd like to stay as intact as possible. I'm gonna look to Alexi. Not that you aren't beautiful the way you are. I would just prefer to remain like this.
there's no pretty corpses.
So you're saying you can't fix this, and I point to my chest.
No magics I know.
It's a little gross.
Vecna
Sticks
might
and
know,
twigs.
To be honest.
but we're not talking to Vecna anytime soon. So maybe if we get you off this
Vecna.
island, we can get you something.
Vecna, you said Vecna?
Yeah, Vecna. He's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I know.
He's the whole
Do
reason.
I-
So I'll let you know that Vecna is the god of secrets and of necromancy. Being a bit of a scholar, you would recognize that there are dark corners of the world where there are rumors of people being able to bring back the dead. It's where those horror stories of zombies come from, right? And you would also know that Vecna is a bit of a mystery. Your dad probably had lots of empty blanks in notebooks where it's just sort of like Vecna question mark, like who or what is this? You know, every lead you try to chase ultimately goes to a dead end. And so in your life and in whatever sort of other scholarly work that LaCroix have done, there has always been the knowledge of Vecna is a thing, but without actually knowing of Vecna. This is the first Vecna you've ever met. You know, there's been a lot of closed doors in those investigations. So it's kind of illuminating and maybe even exciting that there's a Vecna here.
Yeah. When you get a minute, I'd love to maybe interview you, chat with you about that. Very interesting stuff. My father and I, we always try to find information on you guys, but it's very hard to find. He's really good at keeping secrets, but he is the god of secrets, so that makes sense.
So she says, all right, why don't we start walking up the mountain again, and you guys can explain these other rules of yours on the way.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
wait, what happens when this is done? What happens to Ghost and me?
I can't give you permanent lives. My magic is used as for what it is now. We temporarily need your help. And if this all goes according to plan, those of us who still have a pulse will make it off this island. But out there, out in the realm, I can't give you life anymore.
I'm not asking for life.
Then,
I'm asking you put me back. I turn my back on her and I turn to them. Please. Put me back in the ground when this is all done. I want to be with my son again.
Okay.
We will.
all right. And so you guys start. Let's get a group stealth check here as we start to make our way back up the mountain.
Hmm.
21.
16.
16.
I got an 18.
Sure.
Yeah,
let's
we
go.
did really well on our stuff.
Oh yeah, let's stealth.
Good job,
that.
everybody.
Yeah.
I got it.
I guess going off of what Ghost was saying earlier, maybe don't use them specifically as a shield or a guinea pig.
I think this should go without saying, but
Oh, rules.
our friends should not be used against the three of us.
That's a good one.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a very good one.
Wait. Parmisa stops marching. You're telling me I shouldn't use my bodies that I brought back from the dead to defend me if you decide that you don't need me on this team anymore, to put it politely.
Oh,
I mean, we can't stop you from doing that, but you know, if you decide that we're no longer useful,
Okay, this is first impressions. My first impression, you guys cost us that whole day's plan, and I lost Fermi. So my first impression of you guys isn't great. Your first impression of me isn't that great. I'm hoping that this discussion of us killing each other is not one that keeps coming up. I will hope, in time, we can work a little bit better together. And she turns and she keeps marching.
Did you want to bring your friend back?
No, I saw him down there. I can't. He just doesn't have enough of his body left.
I see.
Hey, do you have that book that I gave you?
Yeah, I do. I still have this. Maybe... She racks her brain real hard, like this is difficult for her to say, but she says... Maybe step one in teaching you a little bit about Vecna is I will teach you this script of his. How does that sound, Edgar?
That sounds great.
She looks down the marching line. She says, I didn't make him say that. I didn't.
I turn to Muir
Yeah.
and say, when you guys lay me back in the ground, will you take word back to my tribe and tell them I died flying a Vern into the ground?
yeah. Where's your tribe?
It's up in Eisenhound.
Oh,
Just say my name a few times. They'll point you where to go.
I'll see to it personally.
Don't tell them about this. It's a bit blasphemous that I've been raised back after my death.
You know, I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Along those lines, while we're talking about what's going to happen afterwards, I'd prefer if you guys didn't tell them I got, tossed off a cliff to my death. Make something up. Perhaps, maybe I stole a dragon and I did it for the good of the realm. Something really good happened afterwards. And I died a really I don't know, interesting kind of way. Also, I am going to need to give you guys everything I've ever learned, and you are going to have to take that back with you.
All right, we'll lie for you, and we'll learn everything.
All right, great.
I won't forget a thing.
All right, I'll start writing once I find something to write with.
I give her some chalk
Misa,
because I have chalk.
I crack a rib here.
for Misa,
That's disgusting.
Alexi, go ahead and take an inspiration point. Guy, you were saying you want to talk to Vermisa?
yes, I just wanted to, on the subject of trust, I agree that we, as a team, we need to be able to trust each other, and that means that we need to make decisions together, that we're all on the same page.
Well,
I agree.
let me bring you in on what I know of the plan so far. So, this red dragon wormling that these orcs have kidnapped or captured somehow, from what we know, they are going to give this dragon over to another dragon. She let you guys know. The dragons have a hierarchy. We've witnessed that the red dragons are the kings of the island. The other dragons, throw themselves down to the feet of the red ones. We don't know if there's sort of a natural royalty to them or if they're just the strongest. We don't quite know how dragon hierarchy works. We just know that the red ones are powerful and they are worshipped, not just by these orcs, but by other dragons even. We also discovered when they brought the red dragon in to that cliff, we listened into a few conversations. What we've learned is that the orcs are planning to deliver this red dragon to a great creature named Yatil Yvelg. And you recognize the name Yatil Yvelg Ghost. Not because you recognize the name per se, but because it is draconic for cruel tormentor. So you recognize when she says Yatil Yvelg, and she said it a few times now ago, she keeps saying cruel tormentor and draconic. And she says, so this dragon that they're calling Yatil Yvelg apparently wants the red dragon. They are planning to deliver him to Yatil Yvelg for some reason. The dragon orcs seem to fear him. He's obviously very powerful. They probably kidnapped the red dragon for him. So we are hoping to bring the red dragon back to its family. We're hoping that in doing this favor for these kings of the island, we can get a favor done back. And the red dragons will help us learn how to get off. If they are the rulers here, they might have some sort of information or knowledge that we can use.
Did they say something about a queen when we were fighting them?
Yeah, it's true. They do have a queen. The high sun ceremony every day was always filled with this deep guttural chanting to the queen of dragons. They would call her. I don't know. Fermi would know. If Fermi would hear, he would have so many of these answers. But there is a way that we can get these answers. And you guys are starting to approach the cliff now. Yeah, you're only a few minutes out. And she stops, and she turns to you guys, and she says, I don't know everything Fermi knew. He was incredibly smart and so retentive of everything we learned. But we had a campsite where these orcs found us and ambushed us. And there are who knows how many notes still scattered there. Not just notes, but bodies. And her eyes get real big. Bodies of that we could even use. But most importantly, the notes that would let me... At some point, I think we had pinned down where the red dragons were. And I think the name of the queen is there as well. I don't have these answers, but after we get this red dragon, I think we should go back to my camp.
Okay. Yeah. Are they going to be after this red dragon? After we take it?
Almost certainly. If this Yvelg character is as powerful as they say he is, he'll probably be hunting us down. starting by morning's light. So we'll have to be extra careful.
How far is your camp?
Not far from here. I guess we probably marched 4 or 5 hours up the mountain. But eventually, I know I hate to do this to you guys because I don't want to incur your PTSD, but we are going to be back at that same cliff.
Hop, question for you.
Yeah, that's me.
So we might be able to do this a little smarter.
You think?
I snap my fingers, and I disguise self at will, and I disguise myself to look like a Draco orc.
Oh.
And we're not by the. I'm assuming this is a little bit away from the cliff, so that way there's no.
Yeah. I'm putting it up here, but we're
I
not
say.
there.
Wait,
I say in
Hop can speak in
Wait a minute.
Infernal.
I can do that too. I can use my Urda racial feature to take the form of another humanoid.
What? Oh my god.
This is why I look human.
You know, I'm really dirty right now, which only makes me stealthier. And I would love to come along for the ride. I'm just gonna tell you guys, this is my job. I'm really good at taking shit and then putting something back in its place to make people think that it's still there.
That could be useful.
Yep.
I'm very useful.
I think we need to clear with your supervisor, Ghost.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
asking. Can I go?
I'm pretty sure if I said no, your friends would break my arm. So
Great. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a bit of help as well, and I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace on all of us.
Okay.
What?
So yeah, Pass Without Trace is going to give a +10 to everybody's stealth checks. So why don't I bring you
As long
guys
as that's
up
okay
on
with
top
you.
of the cliff where we saw Alexi and Hop last adventure. We'll put all of you
Yeah.
up there, so you sort of have that vantage point. I think it was a pretty good vantage point. So just like we know last time, there is a cave entrance below us. It's pretty much coast is clear.
Hey.
I say real quick to the guys, do you think you could get me one of these? And I point to Guy's beautiful backside that's displaying the.
It's in the back.
And it's his great axe. Awesome.
If I get another two-handed weapon, this axe is all yours.
And the Draco orcs that have you ever seen any that have come from Jatil Yavelg
Yes.
that have been sent by him? What do they look like?
Jatil Javelg is a black dragon. I've seen black Draco orcs. I don't know if that means they work for him or the Draco orcs. I mean, you saw them on the cliff. They come in many colors. The ones who are in this tribe are green, black, white, and blue, and red. So I don't know if the orcs follow the same hierarchy that the dragons do. Those answers might still be in the notebooks.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. If this is a plan, we don't have to stick with it.
Okay.
I can make you, and I point at Ghost, you, Guy, Hop, Alexi, myself, and Promisa. Although I don't recommend all 6 of us going in. Or we can make us all look like Black Draco orcs. However, like I said, I don't think all of us should be going in at the same time.
I already look like a Draco orc at the moment.
So just bear that in mind. But I don't think all 6 of us should go in, just in case we get into trouble. Then we can approach it from 2 fronts, as in somebody trying to break out and somebody coming from the opposite side, flanking them on both ends. If this is a cave.
Sure.
Should
I'm
we all-
alright with going in with you.
I will need Hop. I definitely need him.
should we?
I want to go in to protect you.
Okay, so that's 2.
Prometheus
Now-
says, alternatively, if we don't think that we can deceive them, I can also cast a zone of silence, in which no word uttered can escape. I was going to use it at the entrance of the cave to prevent them from calling for help in case things went wrong.
I can, with Hop's help, I'm pretty confident I can talk past them.
I can wait outside.
I think having 2 people, we might be able to bluff our way through it.
Okay, I'll go in. If
Do you
Pranisa,
not
you
want
want
me
to
to
stay
cast
out.
silence on the outside?
Well,
Yeah.
why don't you give us a warning? Like, I'll be out here with Pramisa and, like, shout something so we know to cast silence and be prepared to come in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe if you hear screaming, that's a good sign.
Yeah. Or maybe wet, squelching sounds. Like the sounds
Yeah.
of things hitting flesh.
That's a good sign.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Seeming. It's the 5th level illusion. Anybody within 30 feet of me that I choose gets disguised as physical appearance as well as clothing, armor, weapons, and equipment. The only person it might not work too well on is Hop. I made him as tall as possible. He is a short Draco orc, but he is very stout.
What's my purpose going in?
Well, you don't know how to speak to them, so...
Oh, I'm not great at deception, but I'll do my best.
Oh yeah, you just tell me what to say.
All right.
Can I wander over to Alexi?
Yeah, of course.
Hey. I know this isn't an ideal scenario, but for what it's worth, I do hope that you get back to your son, and you will. But I need you to do me a favor, and you're probably feeling this too, because I think we're tied to this lady. Some weird, super magical kind of way.
It's a bond, yeah.
We gotta make sure that she stays alive. And I don't know about you, but while I'm in there, I'm willing to do whatever I can to make sure our friends stay alive.
No, I agree. I'm here for them.
I'm here for them too. Okay, but make sure the lady stays alive. And don't let her push you around.
I think whether I want to or not, I will make sure this lady stays alive.
Yeah. Stay
But
safe.
You too. Or as safe as can be.
I was gonna ask Murin in Giants, do you need somebody to stay out here to make sure she doesn't try any funny business or leave us high and dry again like she did last time?
I don't think she wants to die any more than we do, so I think we're okay.
Right, she can't bring herself back if she's dead.
Yeah. So if it's all the same with you, I think having you in a silent but strong compatriot.
Before we go in, I do just want to say, I've never done this with people before. The last time I did this, it was with my dad. So this is kind of really exciting for me. I'll try not to fuck it up.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, you won't. You won't, Ghost. And before we go in, I'm really sorry I didn't catch you. I tried.
You tried. That's what counts.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're alive.
I'm glad you're back.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Let's go get a dragon.
Fuck yeah.
All right. So the 4 of you step into the cave, and as anticipated, as guessed, there are indeed 4 of these Draco orcs on the inside. The last Draco orc, however, is about twice the size of the others.
Really?
So he is about the size of Guy in Guy's big form.
Oh my god.
When everybody else goes in, can I say to Pramisa just that I'm sorry about Fermi? My condolences.
She says, "Thank you. You are the most compassionate of all of your friends." The others have no kind words to say.
Don't worry about filling his shoes. Make your own path. From what I could tell, he really loved you, so
Thank you. Well, let's hold our breath now and hope that in a few seconds we see your friends come out.
With an egg.
And in the inside, you guys can see that the little dragon that they've been mentioning is not in an egg, in fact. It is nestled up sort of in the lap of the big guy, like a house cat almost. It appears to be very affectionate and very, very young. And when you guys step in, you catch the attention of the 4 Draco orcs, who sort of turn and look at you guys, and they stop in their tracks, and they're all staring, waiting for you to make a move. What do you do?
I say Jatil Yavelg wants the red dragon.
Cool.
All right, give me a deception check.
A 9.
Uh-oh, stinky.
All right, let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Well, we
All
tried.
that planning.
We'll do a quick roll.
It was a good plan.
One day it'll work.
Yeah, one day.
All right. So first up is Hop. Hop, as our poor friend Murin starts to give the prepared speech, your eyes grow big and you notice that they've stopped moving and they've started staring at us because they don't appear to be looking at us with their eyes. They appear to be looking at us with their noses. And the second you notice that, we absolutely do not resemble in any way or shape Draco orcs in that regard. We all smell very different. And not even all the same way. We all smell like different things. You smell like a rabbit, a beast folk, Urine smells like a druid. So Hop, first up, before they even get the chance to raise their weapons, you have the opportunity to do something.
I yell, right, silence then!
Great. There's a faint warp behind you just at the cave entrance, and then nothing. And you hear the outside world just disappear.
Are there any rocks on the ground?
Yes, this is a cave.
All right, I pick up a bunch of rocks, I throw them, and I cast Hail of Thorns. I got a 10 to hit.
So you sort of dash up and you throw some rocks, and everybody in the room just kind of hears them shatter against the back wall of the cave. So Murin.
So I'm going to go ahead, and it's a verbal component, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of point my fingers at the 3 Draco orcs that are in front of Hop.
Yep.
And within a 20-foot cube, within range, all 3 of them have to make a dexterity saving throw or be outlined in, we'll do a very bright green light. Fairy fire.
That's a 17, a 19, and an 18.
Oof, all 3 of them save.
Yeah, no fairy fire here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm out of options, so I'm going to back up against the cave wall behind Guy. Because
All right.
I'm the squishiest.
It is Ghost's turn. And we'll move you against the
I'm
cave
gonna
wall.
rub my hands together. I'm gonna give
thanks.
them the cutest smile that a dragon, orc, whatever the fuck I am, can give. And then I'm just gonna say, distract them, will ya? And then I'm gonna back up against the cave wall and stealth.
Give me a stealth check.
That's a 34.
So with a 34, you disappear. I'm just gonna take you off the board because we are not gonna see you anytime in the near future.
Do I see anything around me that I could do a little switcheroo with? We're gonna collect some rocks as I move towards our little friend on this throne.
All right.
Good night.
Sure, so as an action, I'll let you collect just enough rocks, gauging the weight.
Yeah,
So
I
how
look
much
back
does
and
that
forth
dragon
at the
look?
rocks, and then I take some off, and then I put some back on. Yeah.
Perfect. It is Alexi's turn. Alexi.
Could I, since we're right above the entrance, could I stand to the edge
Yeah.
and wait and hold my turn, so in case something comes running out, yeah, I'll like pounce it or something. Try to grapple it.
Sure. Guy, it is your turn.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Giant time.
Once an
Activate Giant's
episode.
Might.
It is giant time.
There it is. Well, I guess it would be a giant Draco. Okay, great. So I'm going to go to in between the middle and bottom Draco Orc, and I'm going to attack the one that I'm flanking with Hop here. 17 to hit. That's 29 damage on that
29
swing.
damage on that one.
Oh my
Jesus.
And then I'm going to use my second attack. 22 to hit. And that's 26 damage
Your
on the
damage
second
is
swing.
insane.
You said the same one, right?
So, on a weapon hit, I'm going to activate my fire rune for the first time.
Okay.
And he has to make a strength saving throw or be restrained by fiery shackles.
That is a 3 on the die, so that is not going to make it.
Great. So
So
that's going to
fiery
be
shackles.
He's
Heck yeah.
restrained, and he's going to take an additional 5.
Yeah, I'll let you know that
Guys,
you have
like-
done 59 damage total. So the shackles are sort of tying him down to the ground, or they go from his wrists down to the ground. So if that's it for Guy, it is the big guy's turn. So he's gonna basically just kind of look up from his little pet, barely recognizing what's just happened in front of him, and then he's gonna look a little disgusted with the group of you, and he's gonna hold his pet down a little lower, and he's gonna rear back, and he's gonna let out one of those breath weapons. 17 damage, Guy.
Got it.
And then he is going to turn his back to you guys, and he's going to start to run to the very back of the cave. They get the pack tactics of the Draco Orcs, and when they have advantage, they do get sneak attack because they are ambushers. That is a 20.
Oh, no.
So that's the first one.
Oh, no.
The second one is not going to hit you. Critical Great Axe does 2d12 plus the sneak attack. So Hop, he is going to come down on you with a fair amount of damage here. Alright, so that's going to be 48 damage,
Oh,
Hop,
no.
as he comes down on you with one
no.
massive critical Great Axe.
Yoink.
Oh no, no.
It's like a cartoon where he hits me on the head and I go like a foot into the ground.
Yeah, you see the lump just pop up from his head.
And what's up, Doc?
It's funny because you're a bunny.
So
Let's go
then
back
I'm
to
gonna. I can't really do any damage to them, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to be as good of a sponge as I can. I'm gonna cast Cure
Sponge it
Wounds
up,
on
buddy.
myself.
All right.
And I'm gonna get 9 health back.
Yay.
And then I'm gonna do Tireless and add another 1d10.
Okay. Great.
Temp HP.
Yep.
So 7, 8, 9, 10 more HP.
All right. So we're gonna move on to Murin. Murin, you are all the way hiding in the cave wall over here. You can just see your name
Exactly
sticking out.
the way nature intended. I'm gonna attack the one who is just directly below Hop. I'm gonna throw a little bit of an Eldritch Blast their way.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack for Eldritch Blast.
A 26. It's an 8.
All right. Anything else, Murin?
Nope. I'm gonna stay in the corner. Actually, I'm gonna stay in the corner because I don't want to risk running past them to the entrance.
All right, Ghost. It's your turn.
Nice. Great. I'd like to go. Does my friend have his back turned?
He does.
How much room is there next to him?
There's a little bit of room. You can't squeeze between him and the wall. It looks like he's pretty much up against the wall, but you can get next to him on any other side.
Alright, ideally this is what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to wiggle up next to him, and I'm gonna try and coax the dragon out of his hands, and then drop my rocks into his lap.
It's a sleight of hand.
It is a sleight of hand, which I am very good at.
All right, that's...
Go Indiana Jones. Get that golden idol.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna need you to
this one.
send... No, but I don't need it, because I got a +9. So I need you all to do some
Good vibes
praying.
only.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes.
Need some praying in the chat there.
Hmm?
That's a 26. I'd like that dragon, please.
Whoa! Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, that will work. It will get you the dragon.
Cheers in the chat.
And then as a cunning action, I'd like to hide.
I will say, however, as soon as you get up against the wall, your cover is pretty much blown. Only because as soon as you get up against the wall and you run away from the big guy, there is a sound coming from your hands as this little guy appears to be very upset and is sort of snarling and crying and whining out.
Can I talk to him in Draconic and just say, "Hey, little man, we're gonna get you back to your dad." And I'll pet him a little bit.
Apparently not. That's
We tried.
Well, Guy, it is your turn. You are still in battle with the restrained man right there. You are in big form.
yeah, okay. Great. So I'm gonna take a swing at the one that Murin did an Eldritch Blast to.
Go for it.
17 to hit.
17 is a hit.
26 damage on the first swing. The one that's restrained, what weapon does it appear to be holding?
The one that's restrained, we'll say he has a short sword. We'll say that the one with the
He's
great
got a
axe in the room
short sword.
is the one over here by Hop on the far end.
Gotcha.
He's got the great
Okay.
axe.
Alright, that's fine. So I'll just use my bonus action to activate my Storm Rune.
Okay.
So as a reaction for the next minute, if another creature within 60 feet makes an attack, saving throw, or ability check, I can use my reaction to impose advantage or disadvantage.
We're going to move on to our big orc who is going to hear the cries of his little baby, and he's going to turn and he's going to throw himself at Edgar against the wall there. And he's got a massive maul the size of your body, Edgar. As he turns, he drops the rocks in his hands. As he just, once he hears the baby dragon and sees it, that cover's blown. So he's going to make 2 attacks. Those are actually both going to be 19. Good. 16 and 16.
I would like to use a luck point and
Sorry,
have you re-roll one of them, please.
Yes, I will re-roll the higher one, because I actually got an 18 on that. So
Thank
it
you.
actually would have been 21. So I will re-roll the 21. Are you kidding me? That's an 18 again. I'm sorry.
Ghost, what's your AC?
14.
Okay, yeah, wouldn't be able to help you out there.
I'd like to use another luck point.
All right, I'll put it on the... That's only 11, so that is going to be 1 miss.
Alright, I'll take it.
You could still use your last luck point on the other hit if you want, because he still will get 1 hit in.
Yeah, why not? I'm dead.
Okay. So it's
The worst
not
that could happen.
16, it's 2. So they both miss. Oh, your luck
Good
has
job.
run out.
So
Sucker.
lucky.
But he throws
so
himself
lucky.
at you. And with 2 hits every time, you don't even move, right? You just kind of close your eyes, and he somehow manages to just hit the cave wall behind you on both hits.
That's really embarrassing for him. I'm sorry about that.
We're going to move on to the other orcs. So, if the one's going to make his attack at disadvantage against you. He failed the attack, so I will do the restraint check. And that will be a success. That is a 17 plus 4 is 21. So, the restraints are off. Meanwhile, the other two over here are going to continue their attack on our sponge. So, that is going to be...
Not much of a sponge, but...
Attack tactics. So you only get one hit this time. Hop. 11, 12. So take 12 damage, Hop. You get another great axe to the face. He's just cleaving bunnies off of your bunny form. Hop, it is your turn.
Did I see the dragon get snatched?
You did. Everybody heard the dragon. Everybody could see it up against the wall there.
All right, I'm just gonna say out loud, time to leave. I'm gonna stay because I'm gonna regain 4 temporary HP at the top of the round. So I'm gonna hold.
Regrowing the bunnies.
Yeah, they're just returning to me.
They get cleaved off and then they spiritually hop across the cave and jump back into the
Well,
mess.
you know, bunnies.
We're going to move on to Murin, who is still hidden over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I'm going to kick a rock up into my hand. I'm going to throw it out towards him, and I'm going to squeeze it, and it's going to shatter in my hand, and I'm going to cast Banishment on him.
Okay.
It's an item distasteful to the target.
Oh, you're
Love
good.
it. Love me some technicalities. That's mwah.
Distasteful in 2 ways.
That was only 11, so he is going to pop out of existence for as long as you concentrate on that.
And then I'm going to concentrate on that, and I'm going to say, I'm going to kind of have my hand here. I'm going to be like, guys, we need to leave now.
I'm waiting for
And
the
I'm gonna-
squishies to.
And I'm going to start, I can move 30 feet, and
Yep.
I'm going to move towards the cave entrance.
I believe, Alexa, you said you're going to tackle the first one that comes out?
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
just prone.
That's fine. Immediately, as soon as you leave the entrance there, Murin, you find somebody just falls out of the sky and smashes you to the ground, knocking
Okay.
you prone. It is Alexi who is standing on you right now. You both are silenced.
I'm gonna use my one free hand to draw an M quick on the ground, like M, M, M.
What strange
M,
dragon symbols are these?
M.
Little did you know Alexi can't read. I am gonna move on to Ghost. So Ghost, he had just come down on you. You close your eyes, he missed. When you open your eyes, he was completely gone.
Well, that's exciting.
How's
You
that for
are-
luck?
You are just
I'm
hiding
so
in the corner of the
lucky.
cave with the dragon.
Oh, we are gonna be dipping the fuck out. I'd like to use fast hands as my cunning action. I would like to, if I can, close the mouth of the dragon.
So you just
And
kind
I'm
of
just
hold
gonna
his
say,
little mouth shut.
Shh.
Alexi, it is your turn. You have just pinned one of them down to the ground. He's hastily carving with his nails into the rocks. And what do you do? It looks like another one is running out with the red dragon. But another Draco, we're holding the dragon now.
Yeah, I guess I would go to tackle the one with the dragon. I don't know. Everyone looks the same.
All right, so
I have a question though.
And what would you like to do to that one?
Tackle that one. I guess I'll try to take the dragon.
Yeah, give me opposed athletics checks, Alexi and Edgar.
Okay, well, I fail. Are you kidding?
Oh boy.
17. Pretty surprising for me, to be honest.
Good.
26.
Oh yeah.
Not surprising.
Yeah, Ghost, it was all clear for you. You run outside, and the next thing you know, Alexi has just blindsided you and grabs the dragon out of your arms. Alexi, you have the little baby dragon. And then just give
Can
me...
I like put the dragon in the arm
You want to put the
and
dragon
like
in the what?
encourage it to like like hold it in the arm that's like partially bone, so that like he can like nibble.
I'll say
You know,
sure.
so-
Yeah, you see that the dragon's being fussy, so you offer it a nice big bone to chew on. You know, so you
Yeah.
hold it in that arm, and then he just kind of nestles into your arm and starts chewing on it, licking all the little tiny bits of flesh it can still get at, which is surprisingly not very painful at all. Actually, Alexi, you feel nothing in this state, so
I feel nothing.
it's just convenient. We still have more going on, so you still have 2 of these guys to your left and in front of you.
I have had enough of this guy that broke out of his shackles. I'm gonna attack him.
Go for it.
16?
Congratulations, guy.
Yes.
You've killed your first Draco Orc.
I have one more job to do in here, so I'm going to step around to the one that is to Hop's right.
Sure.
I'm going to use my action surge and attempt to wrestle the great axe out of his hand.
All right, give me an
Yes!
athletics check. Opposing athletics versus the Draco Orc.
And I have advantage on that. That's going to be a 25.
Yes. I got an 18. He's ready to cleave off more rabbits. He lifts the great axe up above him, and you, towering as another Draco Orc, who is 6 feet taller than him, just grabs it out of his hands as it's in the air, and he looks back and he sees you, and now he's unarmed, and he just kind of lets out a blood-curdling. So if that is it for Guy, it is. All right, it is it's Promisa's turn actually. So Promisa, who is up on the cliff with Alexi, is going to see Alexi come over the side, and she's going to sort of nod approvingly, seeing what's going on down there.
I don't know. I just came back up
Okay.
with the dragon, like you told me,
What?
told us to. I don't know. I tackled 2 of them, but one I think was Mirror, and the other one I don't know. I just stole the dragon from. It
You
looked
feel,
like it was
you feel a
fleeing,
swift
so-
command run through your head, Alexi, to leave the dragon at your feet and then go back into the cave.
All right. Sounds okay.
It is the orcs inside's turn. Honestly, they're both going to start to flee.
It's all right, guys. I got it. I'll take care of them. I'm prone on the ground in front of them. They'll trip.
Easy.
Actually, so am I.
One of
So
them
there's a
doesn't
good
have any
chance that they
weapons, so
will.
it's fine.
Hell yeah. I'll push them off the cliff.
I'll just keep knocking people prone.
It is Hop's turn. Your turn, sir.
I guess I'll just close to the door.
All right.
10 feet, because that's the extent.
So you turn and you get 10 feet closer to
And you
the
know what?
door.
I'll sprint.
Oh man, you'll reach them. You'll get
Oh,
right behind
no.
them. So as they're running out the door, you just kind of show up behind them there. Big Bunny on
Yeah.
his way out. And that's it for Hop. So Murin, you are prone and on the floor in front of the door. Go back to
I'm gonna stand up. I can take a hit, so I'm gonna back out and I'm gonna try and escape the cone of silence range.
So we'll move you not back towards that Pride Rock formation.
And I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast on the most injured one.
Sure.
That's a 9.
All right, that will kill the one with a weapon. So the one without the weapon is the one who is the most healthiest, and he is about to run outside. All right, Alexi, it is your turn. You are standing on the edge of the
Yeah.
cliff.
Have they come out yet or no?
They are in the doorway, basically.
I'm gonna speak.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
gonna take a free
outside.
action to
yeah.
speak because I'm outside of it and say, "Oh yeah, there's another one coming out. He has no weapon though.
I got it.
He doesn't have a weapon, does he?"
He does not.
Okay, cool.
I guess I'll climb down it again
Sure.
and
Just hop you down there. So, Alexi, if you turn and you walk towards that entrance, you will immediately see that there is still one of these Draco Orcs still standing here.
can I charge it and like try and tackle it?
Absolutely. So that is a grappling check. I only got a 11 total.
I got a 14.
That was close. So you run through the cave entrance, and just as he's about to break that threshold into the moonlight, you knock him down and you push him back into the cave, and you fall on top of him. And as you do that, you also realize that hovering over top the two of you is this big bunny. Hop.
Hello there.
When you talk, Hop, is it just your voice or is it a chorus of 1,000 rabbits?
It's 1,000 rabbits. Absolutely.
I love that.
You hear a squeaky choir of 1,000 hello there's.
This eldritch abomination is my favorite thing.
You know, before today, I think I would be creeped out by that.
Guy, it is your turn.
I can dash. There's nobody else in the cave,
Yeah,
so.
if you want to squeeze past
when
the
I
big bunny.
when I go over, do I see Alexis on top of the work there?
As you approach the entrance, you can see that the bunny is there, and you can see that Alexi has gotten to one prone, and it's just.
I'm gonna toss her the extra great axe.
Yes.
Yes.
Hop over your head. The most
Then.
beautiful thing occurs. A great axe soars through the air and lands in the hands of Alexi to your right.
A few of my bunnies cheer.
Victory.
Let's go.
All right, Alexi, you have a great axe.
Yes.
So, Alexi, being the only one still inside with the last survivor, I'm not even going to make you roll any dice. I mean, what do you do, Alexi?
I guess there's this huge, like, just scream, like, you know, and I'm just, like, hacking thing.
Oh, man.
Undead rage.
Pretty much.
The angst of everything that has occurred to you in the last 24
Yeah, I'm like-
hours
Yeah, I'm
Finally
like, putting it all
has.
into these.
the ventilation it needs. And that Draco Orc is by far getting the worst punishment of anyone in today's battle.
Before we leave,
Yeah?
I do have to say that I have 7 rounds left on banishment.
A proposal, if I can get into voice range to Promisa. My proposal is Promisa. Remember how you said you were gonna lock people in? It's time to lock people in. Remember you were gonna close the cave entrance?
30 seconds.
Oh! That's brilliant! Yes!
There you go.
Wow, that's brilliant. Promisa will jump off the edge. And she still has that mud that she had prepared from that cliffside, which felt like a century ago. And as the banishment ends, you know, you got 30 seconds left. It's over, Murin. Promisa reaches the entrance, and on the other side, you can see that massive Draco Orc is charging the entrance just as Promisa puts her magic in place. And the door is shut, and it becomes just a solid wall, trapping him
Yes.
indeed inside the cave. As you guys all flee and successfully get away.
And Pass Without a Trace is still active.
Ghost, did we get you one of those short swords?
Oh, before we dip, I would
Sure.
love to grab that.
Yeah,
that
let's
short
get some
sword.
weapon. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab that if I can.
Go ahead and add a short sword to your inventory, Edgar.
So they can't track us.
That's true. So I will jump us back onto the road as we hit the jungles, the mountains. We obviously want to travel by night, so we gotta keep moving. So then we will get back to our little tribe of 6 as you guys head out into the mountains and down towards her camp. And in the silence of the night as we stalk through the vines, Promisa, she catches up with you, Ghost. And she has the dragon in her arms now since Alexi has let it go. And she is doing her best to sort of assuage it. And it seems like it's gotten a little more used to our group and it's a little calmer. And she says, she strolls up next to you, Ghost. She says, "So, are we supposed to name it something in infernal or draconic? What is the deal with these things?"
I tried speaking to it in Draconic and it didn't understand me.
I don't think it can talk, honestly. I mean, I've whispered a few things in infernal to it and it doesn't seem to speak back. I think it's too young.
We can
God.
let it gnaw on me a little bit more. I got plenty of meat left.
Yeah, let's give this dude a name. Hey guys, come over. Let's name our little friend.
Well, we know that dragons from our side of the river are nice. And they speak Draconic, right?
They
So
do?
maybe a Draconic name wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know the first thing about it, though.
So who speaks
me neither.
Draconic in the
I mean-
group then?
I'm gonna.
I speak Draconic.
All right, then I
Be
guess...
calling it minivan. That's what I'm going to be
Minivan.
calling it. But you know, minivan is what I'm going to be calling it. but-
Minivan.
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 So then the onus falls on you then, Ghost, to come up with a good Drake.
All right, we're gonna call him Presideth,
Oh yeah. Oh, I like that name.
which
Sounds royal.
means
Which means, now that's
guys
on you,
wanna-
Ghost. What does Presideth
Yeah.
mean?
Little Ven.
Presideth means I think I'm going back in my dictionary. It means hope.
Hope.
Hmm.
And
Hope.
with that little bit of hope,
Uh,
we will end
Yay!
Presideth's tale, the tale of how we just kind of plucked him. And that's going to be it. Thank you so much for joining us
Hell
on
yeah.
this mini adventure to rescue our dragon. I think we're all wrapped here, so join us again next week and keep rolling those dice. Is that a good
That's our
sound off?
catchphrase.
That's not our
Rolling those
catchphrase.
dice.
keep
Keep
rolling the